Finally, a Negro preacher who actually seems to believe the Bible. It's too bad. It's a made-for-TV movie, but I guess we take what we can get. I just realized I just got an email from YouTube that they're taking down my latest video. I find that interesting. Both Facebook and TikTok have allowed it to stand, and so I guess every platform has a different policy. So the clip was from a movie called Too Many Christmases. It was a great scene because it spoke to what's happening in real life. In fact, it was my plan to make a long form video, and that's still my intent. And so I'm kind of doing this in reverse. I normally do a long form and then do the short. But just so happened that I did this short. And so it's a great scene. If you've seen the movie, then you would know exactly what I'm talking about. A mother and her son come to church. It was some particular Sunday associated with Christmas. Maybe it was the week before Christmas, because they were planning to sing in their traditional Christmas duet. The son is appearing in female attire, which took the pastor by surprise. The male who came dressed as a woman assumed that he would be allowed to sing as he normally had in previous Christmas celebrations. I think his new name was Lily. And the pastor said in no uncertain terms that he would be allowed to sing nor sit in the congregation. He would sit in the lobby. The mother was taken aback. And then the pastor said he didn't know who he needed to fuss with more, the mother or the gentleman. And it kind of ended there. And so I wanted to use this as a springboard, looking at three individuals: Magic Johnson, Dwyane Wade, and Charlize Theron. Each of them have children that identify in the opposite sex assigned to them at birth. And this is a prevailing issue in our culture. It's why I have those three theses. America's under the judgment of Almighty God. When we have parents facilitating children rejecting the sex, the gender assigned to them at birth by their Creator, that can only happen when God is taking His hand of restraint. And as in the Old Testament, people did what was right in their own eyes, and evil increased. And then the Negro church has apostatized. Dwyane Wade is a perfect example. Dwyane Wade's mother is a preacher. And I guarantee you, Dwyane Wade would say that he's a Christ follower. I'm pretty sure Gabrielle Union would say the same. Same thing with Cookie and Magic Johnson. I don't know about Charlize Theron. But I just hold that the Negro church, the African American church, the black church has apostatized writ large. Another social influencer, he made a video this week talking about how rampant it is in the black church, the Negro church, gay choir members, gay choir directors. And I know kind of anecdotally, that was very prominent when I was growing up as a young man. And then finally, no evangelical can in good conscience align with the Democratic Party as presently constituted, period, full stop, end of story. Magic Johnson, Dwyane Wade, Gabrielle Union, Cookie Johnson, Charlize Theron, if I was king for a day, they would be in jail for child abuse, child neglect. And it just tells us how debased our country, our world has become when we have parents facilitating this rebellion against God. Children have struggled with gender dysphoria since creation. And by God's providence, when puberty is allowed to take effect, over 75% of these kids, they grow out of their gender dysphoria. Now, granted, that still leaves 25%, and so this is a real issue. But brothers and sisters, that is why the Bible admonishes us to speak the truth in love, as opposed to lovingly speak the truth. See, the emphasis is always on truth. Jesus said, the truth will set you free. Jesus said, whom I have set free is free indeed. There's no freedom in the Johnson household. There's no freedom in the Wade household. There's no freedom in the Theron household. Is there freedom in your household? Then if it is, then you would join with me in the condemnation of this atrocity. But you don't. You're silent. You condone it. You endorse it. You embrace it. Which is why, again, I say the Negro church is apostatized. I invite you, I encourage you, I beg you to consider joining my channel, because I can help you think clearly and stand confidently from a Christian worldview. Again, if the Lord says the same, I'm going to do a long form video where I go into more detail that I can go in doing this brief, now 6 minutes and 41 seconds. So let me stop. And let me just encourage you, if you are a Christ follower, to keep your hands to the plow and seek to serve for an audience of one. That's all I'm doing. I'm finishing out my 4th quarter strong for the name and the majesty of Jesus Christ, my Lord. Bringing every thought, every lofty opinion that's raised against the knowledge of God, and bringing it into captivity to Jesus Christ. In all seriousness, this is serious business. So many people are going to hell. And so many people are going to hell from the African American community, the Negro community. That's why I'm doing what I do. And I create videos, I write blogs. I'm trying to do everything in my power to warn so many people from the Negro community that I'm afraid they're going to hear Jesus say, I never knew you. And they're going to cry out, Lord, Lord, didn't we prophesize in your name? Didn't we cast out demons? And then we go to church, and then we talk about how well the preacher preached. And then we post on Facebook and how good God was. And as my dad would say, they're going to bust hell wide open. And so I implore, I beseech, I beg you to be reconciled to Christ, to turn from the Negro church and these Negro preachers. If you go to a church that has Jamal Bryant, Brian Brazier, Roland Martin, Raphael Warnock, Frederick D. Hayes III, T.D. Jakes, Charlie Dates, and I'm sure there's many more names that can be added to the list. Flee. The Bible tells us to have no parts in the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather expose them. And that's what I'm doing. You can call me a coon. You can call me Uncle Tom. You can call me a sellout. And that's okay. I'm on my way to heaven because I know Jesus Christ, the Jesus Christ of the Bible. And it's him that I live, move, and have my being. It's so sad that we got to look at Hollywood to finally find a preacher from the African American community. So I'll take what I can get. Shame on that mother. That mother represents Dwyane Wade and Magic Johnson and Gabrielle Union and so many others that are mollifying these young people. It's not okay. And you can call me intolerant. You can call me whatever you want. But when the rapture happens, you're going to call me long gone. And you're going to say Ricky was right. But it's going to be too late. Unless you turn and turn to Christ. I like these videos. They're short, they're sweet, and to the point. Until the next time, keep your hands to the plow and seek to serve for an audience of one. I'm excited. I'm getting ready for Cape Town in less than 9 weeks. I'll be running for my 6th star in the Abbott World Major Championships. You see, I have on the shirt, I think this is from 2025. As I said, keep your hands to the plow, seek to serve for an audience of one.